All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to break down a really fascinating educational source. It's a sixth grade math lesson that teaches a pretty basic concept, but in a way you've probably never seen before. We're going to look at exactly how it works, and more importantly, why. So it all starts with this question. What do Noah's Ark and a giant shipping container have in common? I mean, at first you think nothing, right? One's this epic, ancient ship from a legendary story, and the other is, just a boring metal box. But the answer, as we're about to see, is all about the space inside. So this is where we start our deep dive with this arc-sized question. We're going to trace how this one particular lesson plan uses the story of Noah's Ark to make a fundamental math concept feel real, tangible, and honestly, kind of epic. But before we can get into the how they teach it, we first need to get a handle on the math itself. The whole lesson, the whole idea, it all revolves around one thing: figuring out how much stuff you can fit inside a 3D object. And here it is. This is the big idea pulled right from the source material. Volume isn't just some abstract number you calculate in class. It's a real-world tool. It's for planning. Whether you're filling a closet or, a giant floating zoo, volume is how you figure out if everything's actually going to fit. And the best part? The math is beautifully simple. All you need are 3 measurements: how long it is, how wide it is, and how high it is. You take those 3 numbers, you multiply them together, and that's it. You've got the volume. Okay, so we've got the formula. Now, let's see how the lesson actually puts this into practice. This is where it really comes to life. Because instead of just using boring old boxes, every single problem is set inside Noah's Ark. The students have to calculate the volume of all these different compartments.
So for our first example, we're looking at a general storage room. Super simple. Just imagine you're on the building crew for the Ark, and you need to know how much space you're working with in one of the holds.
The lesson gives us the dimensions right here: 5 meters long, 4 meters wide, and 3 meters high. So we multiply them together. 5 times 4 is 20, and then 20 times 3 is 60 cubic meters. That's it. That's the total space you've got in that room. See? It's a really straightforward application of that formula. Now, the next problem gets a little more specific. This time, we're calculating the storage for animal supplies. And you can feel how the stakes are a bit higher here, right? You've got to make sure there's enough room for all that food. So this room is 7 meters long, 6 meters wide, and 2 meters high. We use that exact same formula: length times width times height, and that gives us a grand total of 84 cubic meters. The key thing to see here is that even as the story changes, we went from a generic room to a food pantry, the math, the actual process, stays exactly the same. And for the final in-class example, the students have to figure out the hay storage area. This is a great way to show how that same skill applies to a bunch of different needs, all part of one big project. Now, pay attention to the dimensions here. It's a longer, narrower space. It's 10 meters by 3 meters by 2 meters. So when we do the math, 10 times 3 is 30, and 30 times 2 is 60 cubic meters. Oh, wait a second. That is the exact same volume as that first storage room, but it's a completely different shape. This is so clever because the lesson is subtly teaching that volume is totally independent of the object's form. But the lesson doesn't just stop with those examples. The real test comes with the homework, where they take these ideas and push them a little bit further beyond just these simple compartments we calculated. And the homework is just fascinating. Look at this mix. It goes from a totally standard math problem, calculate a prism's volume, to a really specific one, like finding the volume of a camel stall. And then they throw in a unit conversion and even a creative writing prompt. It's great. But honestly, the most brilliant part of the whole assignment is this last one. Students have to create their own biblical word problem. The example they give us about Joseph building a grain box. This is amazing because it forces students to think like a problem designer, not just a problem solver, all while staying inside the world the lesson created. So you have to ask yourself, why? Why teach math this way? What's the big idea behind using Noah's Ark to teach 6th graders about volume? Well, the source material is actually really clear about its reasoning. The whole entire lesson is anchored by this one verse from Genesis. The lesson points to these incredibly specific and detailed instructions given to Noah for building the ark. Instructions about decks, doors, and all the dimensions. And here's the core message of the lesson. It suggests that this kind of mathematical precision, these specific instructions, are a reflection of divine wisdom and order. So the curriculum is framing math not just as something humans invented, but as a basic feature of a structured, ordered universe. And that leaves us with this final, really thought-provoking question. By taking a standard math lesson and wrapping it inside an ancient epic story, can we make abstract ideas like volume feel more important, more purposeful, and ultimately more meaningful to a kid learning it for the first time? It's a pretty fascinating approach to education, isn't it?